Hi, chapter 33. They've just, chapter 32 was really amazing. Okay, they're at the chippies now. The three of us are in daisies with our order of chips and curry sauce. We are not diving in, fighting for the big chips. We are just staring into space, beginning sentences and then having no idea where to end them. Families are picking up their Saturday night order of fish and chips. What time is it? Fiona suddenly asks. Rue looks at his watch. Just gone 8. How can it have just gone 8? She says, dazzled. I know, I agree. Hate crime always feels like much more of a late evening thing. We laugh despite everything, despite the fact that there's blood drying on Rue's neck, despite the fact that Fiona and I just crashed a photo frame on a man without even touching it, despite the fact that we have no idea what's going to happen to the kids at the cabaret or how Rue is going to go home without a spare change of clothes. We laugh. Imagine. Do you think this is all part of Children of Bridget's plan, then? Fiona asks. To cause riots, civil unrest and all that? I guess so, I shrug. My sister said that she was attacked recently in the centre of all places. Rue sinks his head into his hands, pushing his hair back off his face to reveal 2 pearl earrings. What am I going to do? You can come to my house, Pat, and Pat has clothes you can borrow for going home. No, I mean, what am I going to do? He says, his voice breaking. He gestures to himself in his ripped red velvet. How am I supposed to live? Silence. Neither me nor Fiona can find the words right, a way to comfort him. This is, after all, not a problem we have. What is he imagining himself right now? What kind of future is he picturing? One where he gets assaulted in public for being who he is? This is how bad sensitives prey on people. They make them afraid. This is exactly what Aaron wants to happen, for Rue to stuff himself into as small a box as possibly can, a butterfly pinned into a frame. You are going to live your life, I said, trying to summon every bit of authority I muster. You are going to live your life, and you are going to wear a dress when you want to wear a dress, and go by whatever name you want, and we'll be there. Maeve, no, Rue, I can't promise that stuff like this won't happen again, but I can promise that I can promise to have your back for as long as you want or need, and you too, Fiona. We need each other. You are the only people I have. I promise. Too, Fiona says, looking at Rue, and back again. I'm with you as long as you guys are with me. Plus, she adds bleakly, you know when you are done with the gays, they'll move on to the foreigners. Rue gives us a smile, showing his teeth bathed in blood. All right, this is our 3 Musketeer pledge. Is it all for one and one for all? Yes. And Fiona and I both say fiercely, fine, he says, smiling even wider. I promise too. I'll kill to protect you too, or die trying. We don't shake on it. We don't do anything except look at one another under the fluorescent strip lighting of daisies. Chipper. We are smiling, but no, we mean it. We've never meant anything like we mean this. And we've got something else. Fiona ventures, we've got magic. Oh, Miss Sink believes in magic now, does she? I smile. It's actually Miss Cynic, she says, sipping her coke. What we did in there, Maeve. I still can't believe it. I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm sorry. What is it you two did? Rue asks. Only saved your life, Fiona responds curtly. How, exactly? I explain, as sanely as I can, the spell with the picture frame, and spell that broke the cold snap, and finally the failed spell to get Lily back. Right, Rue says, slightly dazed, looking right. I believe my response to this was, Maeve, are you insane? Fiona politely nudges. Maybe I got hit by the bottle, because there was a bottle thrown to him. Too hard, he says evenly. Or maybe things have just been too weird lately. I let out a short barking laugh. You want to talk about weird? I'm sensitive now. Rue and Maeve cock their heads to utter confusion. Oh good, I reply, slightly relieved. You haven't heard of it either? When the definition shopkeeper told me, I thought I was the only one who didn't know what a freakin' sensitive was. Well, what is it? Rue asked irritably. It basically means that you are born with a kind of natural knack for magic-y things. That doesn't sound very specific, he says, his brows furrowed. Fiona looks thoughtful. Nobody could have made that crappy book work, she says slowly, unless they had magic in them already. Rue still looks unconvinced. I think it is just an explanation for why I don't know I am suddenly flustered. I'm not used to being the special one. They are the special ones, I think. Like how I'm good at tarot, and how the housekeeper is attracted to me, and how I can sort of be in Rue's brain, and the spells I think I just have. Like 1% more of natural flair for it than regular people. That's all? 1%? Fiona says, outraged. More like 50. 11, Fiona. 11%. I won't take a penny less than 30%. Well, we all laugh, and making it into a dumb joke helps me to normalize this strange new fact about myself. It's a bit like being in some elusive 13th house of the zodiac. But the woman at the definition, she also said that bad sensitives exist, and I think Aaron might be that one of them. Also, she seems to think that Kilbag is at the center of some kind of energy shift. Wow. Like the housekeeper is throwing everything off, Rue says slowly. Yes, and I guess that Aarons of the world, the bad sensitive, prey on the sort of thing. They get into people's heads. Could it be possible that some grand Jenga match of forces and energy were thrown out of whack when I woke up the housekeeper? Could the housekeeper, who was awakened by spite and pain and anger, be feeding everything in the city, even a Christian fundamentalist group that has nothing to do with us? I picture the river flowing through the entire city like a blue vein, the river filled with rainbow trout and cobs and keys, the river carrying the winds and currents and the secrets of the missing girl. So Lily's disappearance doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's part of everything else, Rue says suddenly. The housekeeper is just the start of a big chain reaction. I knew we were right to see the connection between the cob creeps and Lily. Fiona starts to nod slowly. Remember when Sylvia said that strong human emotions are what create ghosts and demons? She says, well, what if it can work the other way round too? What if all the anger and resentment caused the housekeeper and now it's spewing out anger and resentment too, and Aaron is just channeling it? Wow, this is amazing. Some people are just assholes, Rue interjects. Aaron, we clearly born an asshole. A sensitive asshole, Fiona corrects. Sure, but what if the housekeeper just makes everything, I don't know, more heightened? We have to break the housekeeper, I say, nodding in agreement. I'm not strong enough to do it by myself. We have to do it together. How? I don't know, but I know we are close. I know it. Rue gets a phone call and steps outside, and Fiona checks her Instagram live from the gig. Oh God, I have like 15 DMs. 2 of them are from journalists. What? Yeah, looks like this thing is going viral already. Oh, or, Irish viral. Are you going to talk to them? No, Mum would go ballistic. I'll just say they can use the video. Rue steps back in the chipper, and the few people who are having their food in look up, startled. They take in his dress, his black dockers. Those are Doc Martens, sorry. The blood. It's amazing how quickly I've gotten used to him in his new clothes. That was Mile. The band all okay out, okay? The band got all out, okay? What else did they say? That a few people were hauled off. A couple of the queens were taken into for questioning. I think partly because they are all over 18. Oh God, I hope they are all right. Wow. I'm sure they are, Fiona says. I've never met a drag queen who doesn't know her rights. We get it, Fiona. You know drag queens, I tease. They turn the music off at Daisy's, and we take that as our cue to leave. Fiona hugs Fiona hugs us both and heads south, back to her house, and we head north towards mine. I don't know what to say to Rue now that we are alone, despite all our pacts and promises to one another as a group. I still have no idea where he and I stand. The feeling is clearly mutual. Rue is suddenly nervous of me, the exotic creature who I just witnessed fighting a Christian fundamentalist while wearing a velvet dress is now too anxious to look me in the eye. As we walk, he dabs at the cut on his lip, touching it with a wet napkin stolen from the chipper. His face is starting to swell. I want to touch the puffy skin, where the crimson of his lipstick meets the flush of the new wounds. You were incredible back there, I say briefly, squeezing his arm. I'm sorry you needed to do it. I mean, I'm sorry those guys crashed the evening, but you should be proud. I could never be that brave. He's silent. And the gig, I bursted out desperately to get him talking. The gig was so great. I had no idea how good you were. You don't have to do that, he says finally. Do what? Pretend like you're still, he trails off. Like I still what? Like you are still attracted to me, I suppose. I looked at him, clearly confused. I saw his face. When I was on stage, he snaps. I know how it is when we are in our school uniform and we are on the bus and I have a little bit of nail varnish on. It's all cute. I can pass for a boy, I guess. But when you saw me dressed like this, you looked so shocked, and I knew that any chance of us. I started to laugh. Rue looks hurt. You think I don't like this? I asked, pulling playfully at one of my pearl earrings hanging from his ears. It falls into my hand, falling off his lobe with a faint click. Rue, I love this. He furrows his brow. I saw you from the stage. Your face, you looked horrified. I was surprised. Sure, I said. I mean it. It took me a minute, but I fumbled with words. I wanted so badly not to ruin this. I thought you were magic tonight, Rue, like no one I've ever seen before, which makes sense because you are like no one I've ever met before. He is so close to me now. My fingers nudge against his in the dark. The balled up napkin is still in his fist. Gently I ease the wet, pulpy material from his hand and into my own. I started gently dapping his lip. Rue, my poor Rue. And I venture, I thought you were extremely sexy. You did? Rue asks, as if this is a trap. I did. I confirm. We are silent then, standing in the dark. I step forward and trace the edge of his cheekbone with my finger. He doesn't back away, but he doesn't move forwards towards me either. Taking this as an encouragement, I lightly kiss the skin below his lower lip, making sure I don't graze his cut. Rue closes his eyes. I lean forward again and kiss the empty earlobe, where the clip-on pearl just sat. Maeve, he murmurs. No. No? His eyes flick open. I'm sorry. No, I repeat uncertainly. I just think we should focus on getting Lily back for the time being. I can't help it. I feel embarrassed, and rage bubble and spill inside of me. Well, if that's how you feel, Rue, why did you just interrogate me on whether or not I find you attractive? Well, and why? My voice is getting shrill now. I can hear it. Why were you singing songs to me out on stage about how we are in hiding together? What is that about? Look, I'm confused too, he says, in desperation. But that thing you showed me, the tarot reading, I can't forget it. The secret Santa. The way you and Lily shout at each other. You turning on the tap and drenching her stuff. It was dark, Maeve. I'm sorry, Rue. I don't know how I can, but he puts his hand up. I know, it's fine. Fi has already given me an earful. Oblivious you weren't to know what was going to happen. But every time I think about you like that, I just feel so angry and guilty. He looks at me mournfully, as though I were a game that he's been dying to play. And when we are together like this, I thought I could forget about it, but you can't. I say, tears rising in my eyes. You can't forget about it. You are so important to me, he says, more important than anyone. But I can't. I can't have this big romance with you and sleep at night knowing that my sister is still out there, wherever she may be. Okay, I say, my voice flat. I get it. And I do. I do get it, in the same way that I needed to draw a boundary with Fiona about witchcraft. Rue needs to draw one with me. I don't like it, but I understand it. Come on, I say, let's get some clothes. Wow. So now she knows where she stands. What's going to happen next? Wait and see. Take care. See you next time.